Box Talk, episode 11. Today, joined by myself, Andrew, Josh, Will, and Nikki Shanks. And as you can see, just right off the top, I got a new hat. We're wearing the Patriots one the entire time, but we are switching to the OMADA GOLF hat. There's just a prototype for now. Hats will be coming very shortly. And as you can see, Josh has his version on, and there's one more version coming very shortly. The OMADA GOLF hat, fully sweat tech, and now what's it called?
Moisture wicking.
Moisture wicking.
We'll leave the feature highlights to.
Yeah, that's for the pros. That's not for me. Today's episode, we're going to be doing some weekend roundup. The U.S. Open recap. It was a great tournament, great Sunday. And then we're going to try some new stuff out. We're going to do like a comedy stand-up segment. We're all going to get a shot to try to make each other laugh. You could either fall flat on your face or actually get some laughs. Either way, I think we'll laugh either way. You know, as Nikki said,
no promises.
Falling flat on your face might actually be funnier. So
absolutely, I'm looking forward to it.
So, and then we'll wrap it up with some behind the scenes at OMADA and a little teaser for next week's podcast episode. So let's get right into it. Pretty eventful weekend all around. Nikki Shanks got us started.
Oh, yeah, this weekend I'm going to be introducing my own little segment that I'm going to be introducing kind of into the weekend roundup for me. Is I've set out a new goal to set the course record at Exquisite, where is my home course where I work as well, and that is the course record right now is 5 under 63. So I would need to shoot a 6 under 62, and I had it going this weekend. Made the turn at 3 under, and a dreadful ball out of bounds on 1. So it just went away real fast. But I mean,
you shot 3 under on the front 9.
31, baby.
Nice. That's epic.
Yeah. So we're on the way this weekend. We played 2 rounds and we're 6 under total on the 2 rounds this weekend. So we're on our way, man.
You shot 3 under on the front, 3 under on the back?
No, I played 36 holes. I shot 3 under 65 at Exquisite and then 3 under 67 at Country View.
Gotcha. Damn, that's a hell of a round, though.
That's awesome.
Having a week, but it's something to keep my mind on. Other than that, just kind of kick back and relaxed.
We also agree, as I've mentioned to you guys, but like I kind of want to start. I like doing that on your own a little bit, though. You know, like because to me, when I'm with you guys, I really just want to have fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if I'm gonna be competitive, it's really for the sake of just like having fun. It's not the kind of competitive where like I think it could maybe be a little bit negative to get like super competitive with one another and really want to beat each other, because then it's like, you know, it might be bad blood.
Could get hairy.
It could get hairy.
Could get hairy.
You know, we could, people quitting here and there. People fucking snapping their club on camera. Hey, oh, fuck, I can't. So we'll wait. There's so much I want to cover, obviously.
Yeah, we're going to get to the U.S. Open.
Because that was my weekend. But, I mean, we went to Dave Matthews on Friday in Mansfield.
Yep.
Then I went to Dave Matthews with my father and my brother and one of our other friends. Actually, speaking of which, his name is Phil.
Yep.
And he is known around these parts as Phil the Thrill. Actually, he's known by many names, really. But Phil the Thrill is going to be his tag here. We're going to have him on next week, so be looking forward to that. But yeah. Phil the Thrill, Philly cheesesteak.
Philly cheesesteak, Phil.
Ches.
He's a character.
He's all sort of thing. Maybe one of the funniest people I know. He was in great spirits, great time over the weekend. Absolute dog. So funny. Like, I can't wait to have him.
He always just brings smiles to everybody around him. And if you're a Barstool fan and you listen to KFC Radio, he's going to tell the story next week. But he was featured on KFC Radio for about 30 minutes. They talked about him. And it's so funny because if you know him, it's like, oh, my God, I can't believe it. Like, I can just picture what they're saying right now. But it's so we're really excited to have him on. He's going to be freaking awesome.
But, yeah, we had a good weekend. Big Dave weekend happens almost every year. I feel like what are we running on? Take COVID years out of it. We've got like 5 years under the belt.
I think I've been to like 8 or 10 Dave shows at this point. Dave Matthews Band, who we're talking about. Shout out Mark, who listens to every episode, hates Dave Matthews Band, but I'll tell you what, we had a hell of a time.
He actually sent me a text that he's coming around a little bit. That he kind of understood the thing about Dave, why people like him.
It's just good vibes. But we had an ID disaster in Mansfield. So they have this rule at the Xfinity Center in Mansfield where if you have an out-of-state ID, you have to be 26.
Wow, really?
Or
is that legal?
Or you have to go to guest services and like get your ID sent through the black box, and they make sure it's not fake, and then you get a wristband and you're good to go. Me and Josh were pretty lazy. We're from Rhode Island. The venue's technically in Massachusetts, so we're out of state. And we're both 24 years old. And they first lady shut us down. And Josh has a full beard, you know, like he obviously he's over 21. I'm starting to look a little more older than 21. But they shot us down because of the out-of-state thing. They say go to guest services. We're like, nope, we're not doing that. Because, you know, it's so many people there. You don't want to go waste time doing that. So we end up getting drinks at another stand, no big deal. Then we went up to get a second round of drinks, denied, and then a security guard, this woman came up to us and just shut it down. She took both of our drinks, and Josh was like, whoa, I paid $22 for that. Like, relax.
It wasn't 22. It was $26 fucking dollars.
For a beer?
For a
cocktail.
drink? Oh, for a cocktail.
It was just,
That's still wild.
Just absurd. And she goes, go get the wristbands and I'll give them back to you. So we get the wristbands. It took 5 minutes to do it. We should have just done it from the beginning.
I don't know that it was 5 minutes. I mean,
well, the walk there was a
it
decent
was a
walk.
pretty good walk there. We had to wait in line for at least 2 or 3 minutes, 5 minutes maybe.
Right, so maybe it was more. I mean, I had a few drinks, so
Yeah.
the judgment of time was off there.
You guys get back and she drank all your drinks.
No, she
I
actually
thought about that though. Like, dude, she's got our drinks for like a good chunk of time. Like,
Yeah.
what could you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of sketchy. You know,
It is
Yeah.
sketchy.
You should never have to give up your drink.
Yeah.
The worst part, I think,
Well, she ended up giving. Well, just to conclude the story, she did give him back.
Oh, good.
She did save him.
I would have found her.
But the thing is like, dude, I'm 24 years old. I'm really 4 years past the mark of when I'm allowed to drink.
Yeah.
It's like, what kind of law is that? You know, you go to Miami, you go to New York, they don't do that. That doesn't exist. It's a made up thing by Mansfield. And in fact, a little pet peeve I have is that Dave came out. He got gotten canceled years back for not actually canceled. One of his shows it used to be 2 days in a row in Mansfield. One had got cut, and he's back to 1 day on Fridays. But I went to Hartford the following day to see him in Connecticut, and he fucking blew the roof off of Connecticut, dude. He played every hit. He was broadcasting it out to Sirius XM on his own radio station. Like, he was killing it. But on Mansfield, he played the dingiest fucking set list, man. It was so garbage. Like, and he had he didn't have the same energy he had in Hartford. And like, Hartford was like half the size of Mansfield. There were 25,000 people there at the concert in that venue. It was packed.
In Hartford?
No, in Mansfield.
Oh, yeah,
the
Mansfield.
lawn wasn't even filled. I mean, it was raining in Hartford too, which made it we were under the roof and seats, so it was nice. But let me tell you something, and I'll conclude this. In the parking lot of Dave Matthews in Mansfield, I've never seen the amount of cars in that parking lot that we were at before. And I've been to a lot of concerts there. I've never seen it, and it blew me away, and it was the vibe of a century. All the dark vibes of COVID, of people being like, even like last year, we went to the same show, nothing. Like, it was half the population of the venue. Go in, everybody's fucking there. It was like cookouts. It was sunny. It was like... Dude, it was epic.
It was great. Yeah, last year they definitely didn't. You could tell the turnout wasn't all the way there last year because of COVID and stuff. So this year to see like we round the edge of the parking lot and it's like just packed out with cars doing BBQs. It was awesome. But to conclude this ID story, right? We go get our drinks back, and the security guard, she's like, "Yeah, thank you so much for going and doing that for me." We're like, "Yeah, no problem." Like it's about the fake ID thing. That's why they do it, because everyone's fake is always like, somewhere in that 22 to 24 range, usually out of state. That's why they do it. Whatever. She goes to me. She goes, "Can you bring me to the place that served you those first drinks?" I was like, "No, I'm not ratting out my helper there. Like, no chance."
Oh, that's right.
And she was like, no, you need to. Like, you need to show me. It's like, it's for our safety. Like, we really need to see where you got those drinks. And I was like, I ain't no rat. And I walked away. And she was pissed. And then I saw her a few more times. Every time I saw her, I'd mess with her a little bit. She was fun. It was a good time. And then I ended up going to the Red Sox game Saturday night. Had another security guard issue. Let's just say my cousin he had a vape cartridge legally purchased. In Massachusetts, you can be 21 to get it now. He had one. He's hitting it in the back. We're in the standing area, and this, I swear to God, 19-year-old security guard kid comes up, is like, "What you doing there, bud?" And we were like, buzz off, get out of here. And then he was like, "Are you vaping?" He was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Let me see that." So he just hands it to him. He's like, "I have to confiscate this." My cousin's like, "No." What do you mean? You're not taking that. I paid those things cost good money.
Oh yeah, they're like $60, $80, no tax.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we start going back and forth with this kid, and he's like, "Listen, the security," he starts getting all flustered. He's like, "The security camera already saw me take it from you. I have to take it now." And we're like, "No, you don't. There's 30,000 people here. Just give it back and walk away." And then he wasn't budging. He starts judging my friend for smoking weed. He's like, "Maybe you should stop smoking weed, man." And I was like, what the fuck was that?
That's personal.
And then we tried to make a plea deal with them. We were like, because the Red Sox were getting blown out, and we were like, it was already 6th, 7th inning. We were like, well, we're gonna leave anyways. How about this? You kick us out, you escort us out, get your shining moment, and we'll just leave. But you give us the cart back. And he thought about it for a second, and then he was like, I don't know. And then we lost the plea deal. The plea deal went off the table. Some words were exchanged. Plea deal went off the table. The vape was confiscated, and we ended up leaving anyways.
I think what was in the vape?
It was weed.
So it was like a
It was like a dab pen. Yeah.
Is that legal now?
Yes.
In Mass?
Yeah, it's legal in Mass.
So
but I don't know.
I
don't know.
fucking grab it from him.
So because I guess they're banned in Fenway.
Private property.
I just wanted
to ban anything they want.
I just wanted to hawk it for himself.
Dude, this kid was. He was the biggest hardo, and he was he had to have been 4 or 5 years younger than us. I couldn't believe.
I would have walked up to him and I would have said, "Here, hold out your hand for a second," and I would have fucking grabbed it out of his hand
and ran.
I wouldn't even have done run. I would have said, "Give me my property back, or I fucking fight you right now on the spot." Only because if it was illegal, because it used to be, right?
Yeah,
it'd be different. But I don't give a fuck about private property rules. I'll go speak to the fucking manager of the place. What would you say it was, $60 or $80?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they're not cheap
the dab
at all.
pens,
Yeah, the dab pen cartridges.
That's fucked up.
If they come straight from a dispensary, it's you're spending anywhere between $80 and $100 with tax.
And that's the shitty thing. He purchased it legally, and so apparently Fenway has these rules where you can't bring them inside.
Yeah, that's whack.
And this kid came out of the rafters too. We were standing in the back. We had seats, but we were just chilling up in the back by the concessions. And this kid just comes out of the woodworks "Excuse me, what is that?"
I can hear him.
Would have covered him in mustard and ketchup and ran out of the stadium.
Call 1-2-1-2. We have a vapor running away from me. Please, I need backup.
Couldn't believe it. We should have we had the plea deal out there, and he actually would have accepted it at first, but then we just kept going deeper and deeper, and then it was just no good.
How about you, Will? How was your weekend?
It was pretty chill. I mean, honestly, it's what I would call a perfectly executed weekend. Sometimes I overdo it, and then Mondays I'm completely burnt out. But no, I went home on Saturday. I went shopping with my mom because my sister's getting married in October. It's a beach wedding, so I don't know what you wear to beach weddings. Mm-hmm. I guess linen. So we got some linen shirts, and immediately timed it perfectly where my dad was getting out of work. And I picked my dad up, and we went to Golfers Warehouse and Mike's Golf Outlet. Shout out Mike's Golf Outlet. And, obviously went there, did some shopping, picked up some G4 golf shoes. And then yesterday played 18 at Connecticut National with my dad for Father's Day.
How'd you like that?
Really tough course. Really fun course, though. Only lost one ball. Greens were ridiculous. After playing Kirkbrayde, the greens at Connecticut National were fast, but there's not a flat putt on the entire course.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like someone gave a 9-year-old a marker and was draw all the greens for this course. It was ridiculous, and I've only played one other course like that, and it's called Keeney Park. It's in Hartford, Connecticut, and I hated playing there because you just couldn't sink a putt. I 3-putted a bunch of greens yesterday, no birdies. But I still ended up shooting a 78, so I was happy with my score. My dad shot an 88. He was stoked anytime he gets in the 80s. So all in all, it was a good day, good weather, and we got paired up some really awesome guys that were actually from Providence.
So you were able to use those rain vouchers, right? Because I know you went to Connecticut National for the first time and got rained out.
No questions asked. Yeah, they took.
Nice.
I have 4 of them, so they took 2 of them. So I didn't have to pay $160 for us to play.
Beautiful, beautiful. So a good Father's Day then.
Great Father's Day.
Yeah.
My dad said it was definitely one of the best he's had. So, I mean, we play golf every year, but, you know, it's sometimes it's hit or miss. And we played a course we wanted to go back to and play. And it was local, so I didn't have to, like, travel or go to Vermont or anything like that.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Anyone else do anything crazy for Father's Day, cookouts? Well,
I mean, I went to the U.S. Open, which
you know what? I guess it's just a good segue into it then. Let's get into it. The U.S. Open recap. Josh, live in the flesh, was there for Sunday, the final day. Walk me through the day. Like, was it just fun? Like, not even necessarily like about like the tournament itself, but what was the vibes like at the U.S. Open?
Well, I mean, there were a lot of things I noticed. Like first and foremost, the weather was garbage. So it was like 50 degrees and windy. And by the time I had even gotten there, the clubhouse or like the pro shop or whatever you want to call it, the merge tent. The merge tent was wiped out. And this merge tent was huge. I mean, it was fucking massive. Dude, I could not believe how big of a merge. I've never seen anything like that at a golf course or any golf event. It reminded me of the PGA merchandise show because it was that big. Like the way that they had set up. All the different brands had their sections within it. It was wild.
That's very cool.
Yeah, that part. So that kind of sucked. The weather, the place was fucking mobbed.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, like some of our other friends were there, and we literally. Oh, and there was no service, which I thought was so dangerous and absurd. Like
no phone service.
No phone service. Like I could make a call, but I couldn't text. My texts weren't going through, so there was there was lapse in communication, and I was trying to meet up with a couple of friends on one of the holes on hole 12. And they were on the other side of a tower, and I like maybe 40 feet away from where I was at. And just to get to us, they couldn't even do it because it was that packed. So, you know, that was an element to it. The players and the vibes, like, I don't know. A lot of the big players were knocked out. The ones that were left weren't. The only... I mean, John Rahm was in contention. Scheffler was in contention.
Rory was in contention for a little bit, but he dropped back, I think, on that third and,
which actually
third and final round.
Because he was back before he went up. He was back. He was at like, I think he was plus. I think he was maybe plus 2 or something.
He opened the day 2 back from the lead. So I placed like a live bet Rory McIlroy to win the Open. Because I was like, oh, you know, he's going to come out Sunday, and, like, he can make up those strokes, no problem. He birdies the first hole, and I was like, holy shit. Like, my bet, he's only 1 off the lead now. Like, oh, my God. And then he just had a lackluster day. I think he ended up, like, even or something.
Yeah, I like, when I was watching in the clubhouse at Connecticut National, he was 1 back. But everyone else was, like, I think the leader was, like, 3 back. So he was still in that top 10. I think he was tied for 6th when I was watching.
Yeah, he was always there. He just couldn't get, you know, under 2 under, you know. What was your strategy at the U.S. Open? Like, were you going to try to follow specific golfers, or were you just kind of like roaming around? Or were you in the tent?
So we were on hole 1, which was not a good hole to be on for Sunday. So like we had like the club seats or whatever. They're not really club seats. I mean, it was more of like a pavilion. It was just more, they had food and whatnot. But, you know, and that actually had contributed to the strategy was the fact that we thought we would get better food. The food was so bad.
Really?
So bad, dude.
What kind of food? Like dogs and chicken sandwiches?
Chicken.
Barely even that. I didn't see a single chicken breast. It was like really just like cheap McDonald's patties. Like, and you know, it hurt. It hurt the event kind of honestly, like I think it was such a difficult event to execute because of where it was. Like you had to shuttle in from like way, like far. Like we were on like the other side of Brookline and had to take like buses in. It wasn't defined where the drop off and pickup locations were. So we spent like 20 minutes looking after finding a spot. It was kind of a mess, honestly, having that many people go in there and the way it had to be set up. And
yeah, I went to the PGA Championship in 2018 and like we GPSed it and we ended up in like a parking lot for a factory.
Exactly.
And they were shuttling people in on coach buses.
Yep.
And it was like a 15, 20-minute drive to the course where they ended up dropping you off, which made leaving even harder.
Exactly.
And you couldn't call an Uber. They set up a perimeter, so you couldn't call an Uber until you were like 1 or 2 miles outside the event zone.
That's exactly what it was like.
Yeah, and again, same thing. I had no service on my phone.
Yeah.
Do you think they put a blocker in for the service thing? Because like it's not like, or do you think it's just the amount of people?
No, it's all about the amount of people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
amount of people
Augusta
and like
does that.
interference between Augusta does that.
Yeah,
that
so,
would,
so
yeah.
then you're not leaking like photos, videos. Because I mean, when you're on the course, you're gonna want to send people videos of that, right?
Really?
Oh yeah, they do that.
So
Keep
maybe it
super
was that.
exclusive.
Could be.
I mean, the country
think
club
they
is
do.
very exclusive.
You know what's weird is because I was able to make phone calls,
Right.
but I couldn't send videos.
Yeah, so
out.
that
That's
would
probably
make
that makes sense,
That's what
yeah.
makes sense.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah, they don't want them sending the experience because they want people to come and try make it more exclusive and more desirable.
Did you try FaceTiming?
No, I didn't try FaceTiming. I
It's
tried.
like the only other way to like leak video, I guess, would be to like FaceTime
I
someone.
thought about that because I was like, man, what if I was to live stream this to one of our Instagram accounts? Like, but it wasn't.
I
even-
think it would get taken down instantly.
by the PGA
Like,
Tour.
you'd get
Really?
yeah.
Think so?
you get
Oh, yeah.
flagged
It'd be
instantly.
USGA.
I remember he like posted something recently, like a few
Yeah.
weeks ago, that apparently had content from the PGA or PGA Tour in it, and it got flagged like within seconds.
Yeah, like it took 25 seconds for them to take it down.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
Wow, didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's like a thing with baseball too. Baseball,
Mm-hmm.
the MLB really owns their own content. It's very hard to like tweet or something a clip. And
It's actually a
not
good
get
call.
flagged.
I heard of somebody that their entire Instagram account was PGA content, or it was really baked into it, and they got the whole thing stripped away from
Yep.
using it.
Yeah,
So-
because if you keep doing it, they'll bag you.
Yeah.
Or if you So, anyways, U.S. Open. Josh doesn't sound like he had the best time there, but it did look pretty fun. Matt Fitzpatrick wins the U.S. Open at 6 under. Will Zalatoris and Scotty Scheffler tie for second. Will Zalatoris, man,
Well, let me.
I know,
Can I touch
know.
on this real quick?
shoot.
Okay, so that was the best part of the day. Was you had asked me about the experience,
Yeah,
but let me just tell you guys something. The actual experience didn't even compare, and I appreciated being there with my dad. That was really great. But the experience of the tournament, all the bullshit, didn't even compare to a couple different things. Zalatoris and what's his face, Fitzpatrick, when they were coming up the 18th hole, the ascension of people on that course to one hole was the energy of a lifetime.
Yeah.
I would go back strictly to just sit on. Matter of fact, fuck all the strategy of people following golfers. You can do that on a Saturday or a Friday or a Thursday. Don't do that on the fucking Sunday of a major tournament. You go right to fucking 18 and you hold your spots. You hold your spot and you watch players come through for that 18th moment, that 18th him coming up, dude. Oh my god, when fucking Zalatoris comes at when he hit. This is the bizarre part, right? Zalatoris was back on the final hole.
he's one back. Yeah,
Yeah, he was one back. And off the rip, that fucking dude stripes. I was on that hole before. Nobody had hit that shot.
Yeah.
He went driver, which was super risky, honestly, being one back. And he fucking striped it down the center of the fairway, and he drove it further, probably 20 yards further than anybody I had seen. And then all of a sudden, freaking, why am I
Fitzpatrick.
I keep wanting to say Patrick Cantley. I'm like, so okay, Fitzpatrick. He tees off and he goes in the bunker, but like you can't. Maybe you were. I don't know if you could tell from TV. Like
Not
this
as much.
bunker had a fucking 90-degree angle.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
maybe not
yeah.
90, but it was like, dude, that ball was plugged, and he hits it there, and being up one. All of a sudden, because where is he from? He's got
England, yep.
Yes, he's an Englishman. So he hits it in there, and the fucking hole erupts.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't even know how many people were on that hole, dude, because you couldn't even see. Like, I was in a crowd. I'm a tall guy. Like, I was in a crowd of people, but he gets up to that ball. John Rahm, 2 holes back, who had played it, was in the same position and punched out. He didn't even try to go for the green, and he would have just been losing money, I guess, if he didn't hit it up there. But this dude fucking takes his shot. I'm telling you, it was one of the best golf shots I've ever seen in my life, and he does it in front of this insane crowd. Not only is it that it's an insane crowd, but it's not his fucking home.
Yeah, they're rooting for Zalatoris.
Exactly, dude. The whole place was going nuts for Zalatoris, chanting his name, the whole thing. And for him to come up and hit that shot, he won it in that moment. There was nothing that Zalatoris could. Even if Zalatoris had hit a birdie, I think it still would have been a far cry away from. Like, he still may not have won based on.
Yeah, he would have had to go to overtime and win the
exactly.
overtime. But
so,
yeah, when I saw that sand shot, go onto the green. I was like, that's it. That's a tournament. Right
Crazy.
there. Like, done. And then Zalatoris almost hits the putt.
Yeah, I missed that birdie putt, yeah.
I mean, he missed that by inches. Talk about a game of inches. Like, holy shit. So that was pretty awesome.
I think my highlight, not being there and just watching it and seeing highlights after the round, and I know we talked about this last night in the group chat, but watching Grayson Murray just absolutely explode towards the end of his round.
The guy who flung his
I saw some meme that was like, by the end of this round, like, Grayson's not going to have any clubs to play with on the 18th or something like that. And then he fucking tomahawks his putter. Like, that was an admirable. That guy can probably go to an axe throwing bar and win every single challenge because he tomahawked the fuck out of that putter.
Dude, have you ever seen anything like that?
No, I saw. So I was at the Travelers in 2017, I believe, and I remember seeing Patrick Reed snap his club on the 18th green. He like duffed a chip and like it barely rolled onto the first cut of the fringe and he snapped his club. That's the only time I've ever seen someone do it in person. But since I haven't really seen it televised either.
I remember I've seen it. I've seen a couple like videos of somebody getting pissed and throwing it into the water.
I've seen Rory throw it into the water before, but like
they get fined a lot for that. I'm pretty sure.
I would imagine if you snapping a club, but tomahawking a putter into like the fescue
dangerous.
that was like kind of near the crowd.
There were people on the top of that hill.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he was throwing that into like the abyss. Like there was a person at the top of that hill.
No, yeah, he threw it right into the fucking hill. Yeah.
Like what the fuck? That guy's got issues.
Yeah, sometimes it's golf.
But he made it into the final cut.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So that probably is why he was so pissed. Because
I've never heard of him either. So have you guys?
I've only heard of him because of his beef with Kevin Na.
Oh yeah, because that was a lot of the comments too. Like Kevin Na's got to be loving this meltdown.
Oh, because he's in the group with them.
No. They have like beef.
Oh, they have
like from like
pre-existing.
Yeah, because Kevin Na like plays so slow or whatever. He has like an issue with it. And I just saw a tweet where he tweeted at Kevin Na right when he went to live, and he was like, "Great, my rounds are gonna get 20 minutes faster now." and then somebody flamed him and tweeted back and was like, "Great, you'll have an extra 40 minutes for the week because like he's not gonna make the cut anyways."
I saw an article this morning that was about Patrick Cantlay saying something that Bryson plays really slow.
Yes,
and that Cantlay, like while Bryson was warming up to hit a shot, like just kept walking, and Bryson stopped and asked Cantlay to stop walking.
Yeah, that's been like an ongoing thing where like there's a lot of people who don't like playing with Bryson because of that. Cool story out of this whole thing though is the Fitzpatrick's caddy, Billy Foster, has been caddying on the tour for 40 years. And he's been on the bag for some of the best golfers in the world, even, Tiger Cup sometimes. He's never won a major. Like, he's never been the caddy for a major winning player. And so this was the first time. And if you go back and watch the final when Zalatoris misses and he realized he won, he's like crying.
Yeah.
He's like, he got overtaken with emotion.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's been on the bag. I don't know. I know he was on the bag for Lee Westwood.
Yep.
And one other big name that rang a bell, but otherwise,
Tiger Woods.
It was there was another one. There was an additional name, but it wasn't Tiger. But that's the biggest name. So I mean, I guess everything else is arbitrary.
But that's a great story. That's one of those like sports is awesome stories. Yeah. Like you see a guy like that. Like
also Fluff.
Yes,
the guy who's in his 70s. Who's been like caddying majors
for Jim Furyk? He has like the big mustache, that, like covers his mouth. Was out there this week,
that's
just
awesome.
Huffing it at like 70.
Oh, like playing?
No, he's a caddy.
Oh.
But he's like you can't miss him when you're out on the golf course. He's got such a distinct look.
There was something I felt bad about actually watching was when Zalatoris missed the putt, and everything happened the way it did. I felt kind of bad for Fitzpatrick. A little bit because like the crowd fucking died.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said it was very anticlimactic.
Yeah, like dude, you just like it was one of those ones where like when Tiger's like marching up the fairway and he's one back and he would have to do something incredible for it to happen. That was the energy that was in that arena. Was like we felt like okay, they're going to the hole. We want to be close. We're Americans. We're America, and also not to mention like. And this is neither negative or I'm not going to leave it to your own decision to how you feel about this, but the cost to get into that place was so extreme that you can imagine like the kind of crowd that was there. It wasn't really the typical like crowd that you would see at a golf course, like at a golf
Like
tournament.
to travelers or something like that.
It was
yeah.
like all investment bankers and, whatever, Boston's tech people. And, I'm not going to complain or I'm not going to say anything positive or negative. I'm just saying that's the kind of crowd it was. So it was like, there are other tournaments that have a different feel that I think are more suited to the way I like to play the game and approach the game, but neither here nor there. The point is, it was really sucky because, you thought that magic was in the air that usually Tiger carries with him. You're just waiting for something crazy to happen. It's the U.S. Open. Nobody ever wants to lose the U.S. Open to a different person out of country. But when he won, it kind of sucked because I'm sure, had worked his whole life to get that one accolade because that was his first win ever. It wasn't
Fitzpatrick, yeah.
It was his first win on the tour.
Professionally,
he's won 7 tournaments internationally.
And he also,
okay,
the cool little fun fact here is he won the Amateur Open at
Yep.
Brookline.
Yep. There's one other
He's
player.
the first ever player to ever do that.
No, that's not true. There's one other player that's done it in
Him
history.
and, him and Jack.
Him and Jack Nicklaus.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So for him, that was like probably elite. But I'm telling you, like, I swear to God, bro, it was like the most awkward thing ever. Like, he went to go dap up his caddy or hug his caddy or whatever, and the crowd was silent. Like, they literally started like giving like a golf clap. Like, it was that kind of weird.
Yeah, because everybody wanted Zalatoris.
I'm sure
to win.
people were like filtering out too at that point.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the second he won, as everybody dipped.
Yeah.
It's also like the course was crazy, bro. They broke down all like the, how like the court, like the holes typically have like they're lined with rope and stuff.
Yeah.
Whatnot. Dude, there were so many people there. They started stampeding through the holes, like all over. It was wild.
It was also like Will Zalatoris has so many second places in these freaking majors. Like, we're all like, okay, he has this putt again. Nope.
He's going to break through. He's going to break through very soon.
Is.
How old is he?
25, right?
Younger.
He's 24 maybe.
Stop, really?
Yeah, he's young. 23, 24.
My God.
So let's take a look on good old Google.
Yeah.
Hit the Google bot.
I think it's weird. The age is starting to become a very weird thing. Like, people talk about Tatum as not to bridge, but as though he's supposed to be winning championships. Curry hadn't even won a championship at 24.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy, Scheffler, even like the fact that he's only 24.
He's 25. Yep.
25. Yeah.
Which is crazy because I'm peeking over at Nick's computer. Zalatoris is 25.
He is 25.
So he's the same age as Scheffler, but looking at them, you would think that one is younger and one is way older.
Will looks like Scheffler's son.
We've slandered Scotty Scheffler's.
I wouldn't call it slander.
He just is a
He just looks,
dude.
He looks old, all right? I'm sorry.
He doesn't look. I wouldn't even say he looks old. I would say he looks, though he's like a far more like mature and aged person than he actually is.
And then Zalatoris looks like he's like 15.
He's 6'2".
Who is
Zalatoris?
Oh, really?
He looks like he's 5'6".
He does look. He looks so small.
He's
yesterday.
165.
He's
that's
so
what
light.
does
That's
it.
what
Yeah.
has to be it.
He's a lanky boy. Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. Will Zalatoris, he's going to be there soon. I'm very excited for when he does get there. And Scotty Scheffler, another great performance. Like, holy shit, this guy is on fire this year.
I'm excited to see him at the Travelers this weekend. And I think moving forward, I'm going to start. I don't bet that much, but I think I'm just going to start putting all my money on Zalatoris.
Yeah.
Because he's bound to at this point.
Scheffler's not a bad bid either. I got to tell you, that guy is freaking. Although his odds are probably not that
Yeah,
great.
you probably
Right,
watch
exactly.
good odds there.
Another Scheffler stat is this week he's crossed the most winnings in a single PGA Tour season by any player ever.
Yep.
And it's only like, what, halfway through the year?
Yep.
12.8 million he's brought in so far.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick took home, what, 3.1 milli from U.S. Open,
3.1 milli vanilli.
I kind of thought too. I was thinking, all the guys most of the guys on the Live Tour, they showed some stat. I saw like a little graph, and actually, tell you what,
Really disappointing effort by the Live Tour players at the U.S. Open, though.
Yeah, I was
that's what I'm about to tell you. So I got it right here for you. So Dustin Johnson, Richard Bland, Patrick Reed. So I'll say DJ +4. I'll just go down the list. +8. Patrick Reed +10. DeChambeau +13. Mickelson +11. Ustazen +6. Kevin Na +5. Taylor Gooch +5. Oh, Gooch.
Wow.
Gooch kind of leading the pack there. Kind of leading
plus
the pack.
5.
Yeah. Garcia +4. Norris. It's Sean Norris.
Chuck.
I was thinking Chuck.
The pressure is
Chuck
mounting
Norris.
on the. I heard that there wasn't really any bad beef between the tour players and the LIV players. Like everyone seemed to get along. But like Mickelson to come out, I mean, with everything he's dealing with, I understand. But for Mickelson to come out and like not make the cut, well, I mean, it's I don't know. It's just the pressure has to be mounting on these players, like in the back of their heads.
I root for chaos. Like I love
I love that guy.
I love when people like get put into like pretzels and like I don't know. I just think it's funny to see like people's reactions. And I was waiting for the irony of if Phil were to make the cut and be in contention. I said it last week, like that would be hilarious. He didn't even make the fucking cut.
Yeah, I mean, dude, he's like, I gotta be honest,
Like,
Phil
not
Mickelson
even
is not a
close.
young buck anymore. Like,
No.
he
he's
just
starting to
walking
show
that
his
course
age.
is kind of I mean, he's playing against guys who are just like their bones are not. I mean, they're just like
35 years younger.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
exactly.
You got to think that has some impact. I mean, dude, his face has been like beat up from the sun all these years. Like, he's tired, man. I mean, then again, he's making more now than he's ever fucking made in his fucking life. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But
the course was in like tough shape too. Like they cut it so like
I heard the rough was
oh my god,
they made it so hard.
couldn't
for the
believe
golfers.
it, dude. I've never seen a golf course, dude. That you're talking about, like that golf course is like one of the most beautiful golf courses in the world. It's the very first country club in the world. And for anybody who knows, by the way, the number one thing I take away from that tournament was the implementation of the storyline of Francis Ouimet, Harry Vardon, and Ted Gray. And they wouldn't shut up about it. In fact, a little show and tell for you guys. They did introduce something brand new at this tournament that I thought was probably the best. I've never seen this at a tournament. Maybe you guys have. Best, addition to the experience I think that they've ever had in golf was they gave out these headpieces, and they actually had them on one radio frequency that they were communicating with the whole time. So even if you were on hole 9 or 10 watching the player, you had all the updates, all the radio updates out of one of these little earpieces. And it was fucking weird because there were literally 100,000 people there who all had this shit like just sitting
On
in
one
their
ear, yeah.
That is cool.
That is really
pretty
really
cool.
It was
dude.
my
What?
favorite
I was wondering
thing.
what that was sitting on the table.
Yeah, it's actually fucking sick, and it made the experience 10 times better. And like, also that was the other thing that, dude, like from a story perspective, like we were on the 18th hole, many of us at the end of the day, but there were players all the way back to like 15 or 16 who were coming up the pipeline.
Yep.
And you could hear about where they were at before they teed off. So, like, for instance, when Zalatoris and Fitzpatrick got on the tee, everyone in the crowd was, like, oohing and awing because we all knew exactly where they were at going into it and what had happened on the last hole from that earpiece.
That's pretty
That
handy
makes
dandy.
it such
So
a better
sick.
experience.
It was so much better.
I wonder if this is going to be something that continues throughout
guarantee
all.
it.
Because
I love
honestly, I'm
that.
telling you, this is great. Because then you don't have to, like, if you're out following someone and you're on the second hole and you're hearing about some shit go down on the 14th,
Exactly.
you can pop over because you've got the direct line. So I'll be interested. Travelers, I'll report back, see if they did anything like that this
They
weekend.
could I would think that to make it even easier would be to let everybody know to bring AirPods and just run it through like the Open app or a PGA app if it's a PGA event. Like, to me, there should be one person,
Because at the end of the day, that's a branding piece. You got American
Yeah,
Express
they
all over
probably
it.
made
is.
a bunch of money doing
You're right.
that.
Actually, shit, you're right. It is,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, that's
kinda
exactly
wild.
Because
right.
you
They
think
can
about
sell
American
that.
Express, you think about, ooh, cool, new technology on the golf course.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, like, I'm sure there's a ton of people that didn't use those.
Yeah.
But
There was another cool thing that happened was over the mic or over the broadcast, Chantel McCabe, who was somebody that we were trying to work with and had been, a really nice person we were communicating with a while back about doing some content. And then also Drew Stoltz was brought up quite a bit. And it was just like we were starting to hear more and more from the back end of like the tournament. You know what I mean? Like knowing some of the people behind the scenes. I just thought over the last couple of years to develop those relationships has been pretty cool. Just to see, it was just something that
That's
I
awesome.
noted. Yeah.
I'm just going to come out and say it. This is going to be a hot take. I'm so glad Tiger Woods was in there.
Wasn't
Really?
Yeah, just for like Matt Fitzpatrick, right? Because, I mean, think about it, right? It's his first win. Every single camera would have been on Tiger, right? How's Tiger doing this and that? And I feel like it was great for him to kind of be able to shine without him kind of taking that spotlight.
I don't hate that take. I think that's fine. Like, and I agree with you because Tiger probably wouldn't have been that close to the contention, like,
Right.
for being honest. And even if he was like +2, +3, they would have been all over him all day.
Exactly,
So
and it's just
it-
getting too much now.
I
It
mean,
would've
from the
taken the shine
perspective
away.
of being there, I would have liked Tiger to be there to diversify the crowd. Like,
Yeah, because everybody else would have wanted to go follow him all day, so
Exactly.
it
Yeah.
would have been easier to walk around.
like I'll be honest with you, like there were really only a couple hole. Well, all right, every hole was packed actually, but Scheffler was loaded all day long,
Yeah.
Mhm.
nonstop. Rory was probably the next in line because he was in contention, and then also the big one was Zalatoris and Fitzpatrick. But like, had Tiger been on that course, if he was 26 back, there would have been freaking a third of that population would have been over to him, and they
Right.
would have been able to get a better spot on the 18th.
Yeah.
Speaking of Tiger, I don't know if you guys saw the picture. I think it came out yesterday or today. He posted a picture with a younger golf player without his
saw
leg
that.
sleeve on. Pretty mangled. I mean, now
Really?
you can understand. Yeah, the kind of the. I mean, obviously, getting in a car crash like that, you're gonna automatically assume that he has some trauma from it physically and mentally. But seeing his leg is pretty. I mean, we can put it up on the screen if you guys haven't seen it yet for the video cast. But yeah, it's like even if you didn't zoom in on the picture, you can see how like the I don't even know what I'm saying, but it's pretty serious, and
I
I
can't
think it
see
gives
it.
you that much more credit to
Oh wow.
him getting back out there.
Is it on his Instagram, Will?
I doubt he would put it on his Instagram.
It's like a shark bite.
Yeah, there you go. It looks like a shark bite. Nick's got it up on his computer right now.
That's crazy, man.
That was on
crazy.
Zaire, I think, right?
Yeah.
I found it on
Oh, it is.
YouTube. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
it is on Zaire.
So U.S. Open,
Oh, yeah, he's got
Matt
a little
Fitzpatrick
chomp out of there.
wins. Electric atmosphere. The final hole was an awesome showdown. What a recovery. The Billy Foster stuff was awesome. It was just a great tournament. It was a great Sunday. If you weren't doing much, just throw it on and just enjoy the moment. That's why I just you can't script sports. I think Spike Lee said it. You can't script sports. It's just the best form of entertainment there is, because you don't know what's gonna happen next. And like this kid, fucking Matt Fitzpatrick comes out of nowhere to win the U.S. Open as an Englishman. It's like, and Zalatoris is representing the Americans, and it's like, I don't know, it's like it's cool. It's just a cool story, and it's gonna be the actual Open in England. That should be a lot of fun.
What do we got next for tournaments?
I think it's the Open.
Open?
In a few weeks, in middle of July, I think it is. And that's gonna be in England. So I guess the Americans got to go and win that. We gotta send a guy to win that one.
Tit for a tat.
Yeah.
Turn the tables.
Yeah, that's gonna wrap up golf news. Unless anyone else has got anything else to chime in with.
No, sir.
Nope. Scotty Scheffler continues his reign. He's having a great year. Even though he got runner up, like guy's on fucking fire. Let's move in to our new segment. It's gonna be kind of like a stand-up dad jokes. What we're gonna try to make each other laugh. We all spent some time trying to prepare some funny stories or jokes. And who wants to go first?
I'll go first because mine's probably gonna be the worst.
I feel like we need to turn that light off for this as like a stand-up vibe,
Now that it's midnight here, went from
We've
6 to midnight.
We've set the tone for our new segment, which is going to be our little like stand-up dad joke, make each other laugh. We're each going to get our moment. We're going to test it out. I'm excited. I have a funny story prepared. Will has a couple jokes.
I'll do two. I got two quick little things here.
All right, yeah.
I'll start off with.
Lead it off.
I'll
All
lead
right.
off with the
Okay.
worst one
Okay.
first. All right, you ready?
Okay.
All right. So, what should you do if your round of golf is interrupted by a lightning storm?
I don't know. What should you do?
Walk around holding your one iron above your head because even Mother Nature can't hit one.
All right, I've seen this one before. I've heard that one.
That's good.
So I was
I
pretty-
didn't hate
Fuck
that.
off,
I
Nick,
didn't hate that.
Eat a dick, all right?
Well, already got me flowing, baby.
All right.
I love that.
I like this one better. This is number 2. So, after a particularly poor round, a golfer, let's just assume he's a guy, he spotted a lake. He's walking to the 18th tee, and he's not feeling good about it. So he looks over to his caddy, and he goes, I've played so badly all day, I think I'm just going to go drown myself in that lake. The caddy, quick-witted, replies, I'm not sure you could keep your head down for that long.
Good. All right.
All right.
Not bad.
That was pretty good.
All right,
pretty
6.
good.
I'm gonna give myself a 6 out of 10.
I'd
Maybe
say-
I don't know
6.5.
about that one. But
Fuck off.
I thought they were great.
no, that was pretty good. Those were
Damn,
pretty funny.
Colucci coming back. There's a lot of. That was good first try.
I
dude.
probably
Go.
took both of Colucci's. That's why he's so sour about it.
I
No,
laughed
I
a
went
good-
story. I ditched the one-liners.
Okay,
I
I
Because
have
Josh
story.
bullied you before.
I'll go with my one-liner just so that we can go into the stories next, okay?
I do have a one-liner though, but I'll save it.
All right, hit me.
Go ahead.
Boo.
What? What's brown and sticky?
Chocolate.
Poop.
Unclear.
A stick.
Oh, fuck off.
Get it? That's good.
That's
very,
a fucking 2
That's
out of
very
10. Nick.
What are you talking
That's
about?
2
This place erupted.
/10.
When I said a stick, this place went crazy.
Is that
just
what
like
you
the
think?
18th green at the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
Listen, we'll mix in a laugh track to make you feel better about
Yeah,
that one.
I
Nick.
agree with
was-
that.
We're gonna
was-
work on it.
Which
don't
one
worry.
is that? Which?
There
There
you
it
go.
is. Oh,
There
I
you go,
like
Nick.
that.
Thanks,
Laugh
guys.
track, laugh track.
It's orange. All right, we got it.
Thank you. Okay.
All right, shut the fuck
Stop
up.
laughing. It wasn't that funny.
Oh, Will, another good one, dude. He's got this place kind of going right now.
All right, I'll tell the one-liner that I found, and then I'll go into my story. The one-liner goes: 2 buddies are golfing, and a funeral procession drives by, and one of the buddies looks at the procession, takes his hat off, and lowers his head in a moment of silence. His buddy looks at him, and he goes, "Yeah, it's awfully respectful of you." And he goes, "Well, yeah, I figured I was married to her for 35 years. I might as well pay some respect for her."
I heard that one.
It was
I've
good.
heard
You
that
know,
one.
He was smirking as soon as
I
you
was
started
smirking.
talking.
I think I'm
I
gonna,
thought
like-
you were gonna like hit us with like what do you think happened or something like that. But it is a one-liner.
Yeah, I thought that was funny as fuck when I saw it.
I think
so.
I'm gonna like this story a lot more.
All right.
In other words, that joke sucked.
1 out of 10.
Well, here's the thing: is like, yeah,
Could you
like,
code that joke and then
Well,
throw it out?
wow, Will.
Could you even roll a 6 in Yahtzee?
You don't roll
Oh.
a 6 in Yahtzee. You roll a Yahtzee.
Which is what, 6 6s?
All 5 dice are the same. It could be a 1.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Get
Fuck
outta here.
Yahtzee. Fuck Yahtzee. All right. Moving on to
Hit
the
us
story.
with your story.
I call this story "Man on the Run." All right. And so the story goes as follows. To set the scene, we are. I think we had just graduated high school, so we're about 18 years old. Very important to the story. So me and my friends saw a show in Boston, and specifically it was at the House of Blues, which, if you're unaware, it is right across the street from Fenway Park.
Great venue.
Great venue.
Great venue.
So the show ends, and we are going to one of the bars on, at that time, Yawkey Way, but now it's called Lansdowne Street. I won't reveal the name of the bar because this is why. For me and my 3 friends, we all look like we're 17, 18 years old. Like, we look exactly how old we are. Like, no questions asked. We all had fake IDs. We get into the bar. Like, I was stunned. I couldn't believe it. So we're all pumped up. We go to the bar. We get 3 beers, and we start drinking. And all of a sudden, like, I feel like such a big shot. I think it was like my first time that my fake ID had worked. I was like, all pumped up. I get a big hand on my shoulder. I turn around. There's 3 massive bouncers staring me dead in the eyes. And they're like, I need to see that ID one more time, buddy. Meanwhile, I already had the drink and already had taken a few sips out of it. So I'm like, oh, no problem. Like, with confidence, I hand over, I think I had like a New Hampshire fake ID. I hand it over. He shows it to his buddy. He's like, no. Come with us. So they grab me and they start walking me towards the door. And like, my heart is racing because after the concert, there was a ton of cops out in the street, like, doing crowd control and all that stuff. So like, I was like, every thought is going through my head. Like, I'm getting arrested. I'm going to get kicked. I'm not going to get to go to college. Like, this is it for me. Holy shit. And we get to the door, and there's people trying to get in with their IDs. So one of the bouncers, like, takes his hand off my shoulder to check one of the person's IDs, and I fucking took off. Like, I start bolting, and I was fully convinced that the security guards and the cops were chasing me. They were not. I'm running down the sidewalk, sprinting in and out of people. I start taking my shirt off. I take my shirt off. I take my hat off.
What?
I ditch it into a trash can like I'm a fugitive, like a wanted fugitive. And I run the entire length of Fenway Park. I ran all the way around Fenway Park. And then I get back to the bar area, and I'm kind of like hiding across the street, like kind of freaking out a little bit. And I look inside the bar, and there are my 2 fucking friends still drinking at the bar. The same 2 people that I walked in with, who they knew that I had my fake. And so they never even let. So they're sitting there like saying, fuck you. And like I'm sitting there on the outside of the bar, no shirt, thinking I was a wanted fugitive.
They're like, look at that homeless person out there.
And I was
Tell
not.
everybody why you took your shirt off.
Because I thought I was a fugitive. Like I thought I was wanted. Like I thought they were chasing me. So
Yeah.
I tried to
So that
disguise.
was,
do
that was
an
your
outfit
camo.
change.
That's
Yeah.
So
That's
your fucking camo was the idea was to go shirtless.
Yeah,
So
a good way to fit in a crowd of people
Yeah.
with shirts is to take
Take
yours
your
off,
shirt
so
off,
you do
yeah.
not stand
Dude,
out.
I was fully convinced, man. It was in my head. It was such a good idea. And even like another layer to this was that my other 2 friends, there was a communication error, and I fucked it up. And I was like, go here. They went to the Cask and Flagon, which is one of the most, prestigious, like it's the most well-known bars in Boston, right?
Yeah.
It's like the videos of it are everywhere. And they thought we were inside because I had texted them like, oh, we got inside. I can't believe it. They both go black box, 2 IDs snapped in half. They got taken out.
No.
Because they were at the wrong place. We were across the street, and I had texted them the wrong place, so I got them fucked over. But it was one of those moments where I was so in my own head. I thought I was gonna get like arrested and taken down, but I was never even chased for a second.
All it took was a lap around Fenway Park
Yeah.
with your shirt off.
That was pretty good. I think
That was
you're going to
good.
have to start telling stories that I haven't heard. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I knew what happened the whole way. That was not. That was not
I
very.
got a couple chuckles out of them.
No,
Yeah.
they thought it was funny. I just you got.
I can just picture you sprinting down the fucking street with no shirt on and no hat.
And people
Well,
are
yeah.
like, "What is going on?"
Well, I was the one that discovered him. He was
Yeah.
He was over by Wahlburgers. And
Yeah.
I was like, I'm the physical person who was like, I found him fucking shirtless in the middle of the road.
Well,
like an
the
idiot.
worst part of this is that my phone was dead. So like my phone died on my run, so I had like one text I could
Yeah.
send off. Like so I was like, I'm on the run. Like oh my god, meet me here.
Get the Uber.
And nobody even chased me. So because I thought in the moment I was running like a million miles an hour and I was like outrunning the security and the police. I was like, oh my god, I'm doing so good. I never looked back. That was my issue.
Yeah.
I
Just
never
running
looked back
from
once.
yourself.
I just sprinted, started taking my shirt off and my hat, put them in a trash can. If somebody had like seen me on a camera, they might have thought like I had killed somebody. Like,
Literally.
All right, so Nikki Shanks, it's funny, we all took different approaches. Nikki Shanks took the lazy approach. Andrew took the story approach, like long-winded story approach. And Will, so far, is by far the winner to me because he just like...
I think we need a new word other than lazy because that was comedy gold in other places.
yeah, you keep
in the
thinking that.
country.
Yeah, you're like one
right.
step of one bad joke away
Yeah.
from being kicked off the podcast.
Will is commanding the house today, ladies and
You know
gentlemen.
what? I'm coming back strong. I gotta.
Wow.
I'm gonna literally have a whole stand-up set for an hour next week.
Hit the books, kid. Hit the books.
All right, so I get a little different of an approach. I do have a story, but I've kind of written this out, and yeah, we'll see if I can grab you guys' attention on this one. So, in the spirit of the U.S. Open, I'm gonna tell you a little funny thing that I thought was funny. I've never told this joke before. I've never told this as a story, so I've been a little nervous to see if I can actually deliver it. But here we go. So I'm in line yesterday, and obviously, like the crowd, it was an older crowd. There was a lot of older people there, but one of the things they were doing at the tournament was they were doing all canned water. So like there was no more bottled water, there was no Dasani bottles, there was nothing. It was all canned water. First time I've ever seen it in my life, which was actually really a cool thing. But what's interesting is that concept seemed to be very difficult for a lot of people to understand for whatever reason. So an old man, I go in line, I'm getting a concession stand, an old man, he goes up to the thing and there's like a 16-year-old kid behind the counter, and the old man goes up and he says, I want a water with my hot dog, whatever the fuck he ordered. And the kid looks back and he goes, yeah, no problem, 1 sec. So he goes in and grabs the can and he puts it on the counter, and he puts it on the counter, and the old man looks back at him like he's he was very bumfuzzled.
That's a good one.
Fuzzled.
You
Yeah.
took dumbfounded and added fuzzled.
He was
on.
bumfuzzled by the fact that they're, what was weird though, he was bumfuzzled because he was bumfuzzled not by the fact that the water was in the can, but the fact that there was no cup that came with the can.
Oh my god!
So
What a fucking boomer.
So he looks back at the kid and he's like, well, son, where's the cup? And the kid looks back and goes, sir, we don't have cups. That's not a thing we sell. And he's kind of like, the kid doesn't know what to do because the guy just keeps asking just over and over, but where's the cup? I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like it's like water in a can, but where's the fucking cup? And what threw me was like why I would need a cup with a can is really wild, but for the sake of the story, I'll just keep telling it to you. The young guy takes another look at him, and the guy's looking back, and they're at a bit of a standstill, and all of a sudden the guy sees a cup behind. He sees the cup's way in the back. So he all of a sudden goes off. Now it's his fucking chance. Now he feels like he's
opened the door.
He's opened the fucking floodgates, baby. And so he felt that it was a bunch of hogwash. The old man, he didn't buy into the fact that the kid, first what he said was basically a lie, but second he found the cup and he wanted it, so he gets it, and he sees someone in the back. So the kid, so the guy sees the cup and whatnot, and he lets out a little titter. But here's the clique. This man uses this man really was a flibber tigabit.
What the fuck?
Because fucking words.
Because he never needed a cup in the first place because he's a fucking boomer.
That guy was like, "Fuck those turtles, man! Give me that plastic cup."
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I tried to tell that in a certain way, and it was very difficult. I kept having to try to read where I was at in the story because that wasn't authentically coming off.
Well, you painted a nice picture.
Give him a laugh. Give him a laugh button.
Okay, give him a laugh.
Nice.
Oh.
Maybe that's
Shut
what we
up.
should do. Maybe what we should do is we all have to vote on whether or not the joke was funny.
You get the laugh button.
If you get the laugh button.
That's
Yeah, I'm gonna have to label these.
What about is that a crowd button right there?
This one?
Yeah.
No, that's like the stupid music one. There's a
That's
crowd
the one. Okay.
Orange and yellow. Okay.
Is there a boo one?
There's crickets.
Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that.
Oh.
Ooh, I like that. Okay.
Crickets.
Or like after Nick told his shitty joke, you can go like this.
Yeah,
That's great.
that was horrible, Nick.
That's
You know what?
That's a
What'd you
funny
say?
story. I would have loved to see that in person.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I tried to the way I wrote it. I tried to implement it, and there was too much corrupting it. But the first shot, I want to tell you that was one of the funniest things ever. Was this guy sitting behind the counter, looking at
It's
this
almost
old
like
man.
a Larry David thing.
Yeah.
Like he sees the cup and now he's not leaving without a
Why-
cup.
That's the thing. Okay, now that we're out of the joke, all seriousness, why do you need a cup with your fucking can, your water in a can?
Yeah, did you forget how to drink out of a can in the last 30 seconds?
Well, winner. You get the winner of this segment. I give you the win, dude.
It's good.
That was great. You have just, what? It wasn't even your segment. It was all the you picking apart everybody else's
Yes.
joke or adding on to it. You win.
I try. Thank you.
Will is very
What do
quick
I
with it.
win? Should the ciabatta bread? Nice. I'm looking forward to breakfast sandwich tomorrow.
How?
How to be He's Googling how to be funny.
All right, that's gonna wrap up the. We're gonna definitely do that next week. As
Yeah,
well.
that was electric.
That
That
was
was
a lot of fun.
Next week we'll also have Phil the Thrill, and I have a feeling that he either is going to get crickets or absolute roar.
Oh yeah. He'll get a roar. He's funny as fuck.
I do have I don't know if we're gonna do behind OMADA.
yeah,
I know
we do it really quick.
So I do have a story, and it's been hard for me to keep this in until it's almost 4:00 now. So I'm sharing the story on Behind OMADA because I do think it speaks to our commitment to the community and the fact that we do have a strong dedication to our customer service. But so as you guys know, I played Connecticut National yesterday with my dad. It was just my dad and I, so we got paired up with two other guys from Providence. One guy named Jose, probably in his late 30s, mid 40s. And I got paired up with a guy named Mike, who was he was 65. He told us he was 65. So as you know, because you've played Connecticut National, but CT National is not really a walking course. It's long. The holes are long. There's distance in between the holes, and it's very hilly. And this dude, Jose, he walked it. The other dude, Mike, took a cart. And Jose said he never takes a gas cart. And I even noticed him, like, literally fucking running in between shots. Like, he would run to his ball so that he didn't hold us up in the carts, which I thought was admirable. And he also had one of the most unconventional golf swings I've ever seen in my life, but he shot a 37 on the front.
Oh, wow.
He's wearing, like, baggy Nike stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
So around the 14th or 15th hole, I started to notice that his push cart that he had was completely falling apart. Like, the wheels were fucking rusted. The brake was broken. The mechanism that holds the handle from the body of the cart, like where it clicks in, broken. It was held together with tape.
Man.
So at that point, I knew exactly what I needed to do. So I'm not sure if you guys remember, but at the beginning of the season for Heather Hills, I accidentally put one of the demo carts, the prototype carts, in my car. And so that's the one that I've been rocking with lately. And so, I mean, for everyone listening, it's the prototype cart is basically a tri-light, has a few minor cosmetic issues, but at the same time, it still operates the same as a tri-light. So after the round, I told him to meet me at my car. And so, you know, boop, 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 Jose comes rolling up on his rusted cart. And mid-conversation, he's talking to my dad. Mid-conversation, I busted out the demo cart, and I gave it to him as a Father's Day present. And this dude, I shit you not, this man was either crying or he was on the verge of tears.
Oh, really?
He gave me like 3 massive hugs. He dabbed me up. And then, you know, he's like, I really hope that we can cross paths later in the, you know, hopefully one more time here if you guys are in Providence. And the older guy, Mike, I believe it was his uncle. After Jose had left, Mike came over to the car and like shook our hands. And he's like, you know, you just made that guy's day, right? And I was like, that's what we do it for. And this is not a story to toot my own horn, and it's not like a self-loathing story. And I wanted to share it with you guys because it's not often that we give away stuff for free. I mean, we accommodate, we do the best we can to help our customers out. But this guy was seriously in need of a new push cart. And for someone who can get another one at work, I was like, this guy's got to have mine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's an awesome freaking story.
That is a hell of a story.
That is a heartwarming
Great job,
story.
Will.
Again, it's not like I'm not one of those TikTokers that films things to like get views or likes. It's just something I wanted to do on my own time. And I wasn't even sure if I was going to share it with y'all, but, you know, I'm sure we'll be hearing more from Jose. And I'm sure, you know, if we come out with more products in the future, which we are, that he'll be a lifetime customer.
That's incredible.
Awesome.
Community is everything to us here over at OMADA Golf. We value customer service and providing the best, literally, customer service to everybody. You know, and that's such a great story from Will. It's one of those moments that you wish you could have filmed, but then it's almost disingenuous. Like just the story of it is so great. And
I actually think that in today's day and age is not really that disingenuous. Maybe it is to the public, but like to him, it's all the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's getting a new push cart, and he was not going to buy one at this point, based on the way it seemed he was taping this thing together and whatnot. But
yeah, it was literally, I don't even know how it was held together.
it's always a beautiful day when you can actually, you know, it's not so much just about providing the service. It's also about, you know, seeing the impact. Is like we sell push carts right now, but like what we get to see on the other end is that it actually improves people's lives. Like being able to walk in a very small way, but in a way all the same, is that when they play golf, you know, they don't have to have back pains, and they get a product that functions the way they want it to, and they can bring their gear along with them, and they can get exercise in. Like, you are literally improving somebody's life with just that one product.
Yep.
And, you know, to follow that up, it's like, dude, for everybody that sees, you know, everybody out there that knows our story and has seen what we started out with and how far we've already come, it's crazy because we are in full product development, like stage right now. We have so many products that are in the process, a few that are already kind of like pretty close to final versions ready. And, you know, and then in the coming year to years, I would say we are going to make a lot of people happy with what we're designing and developing. So keep following along, and we appreciate everybody. And of course, Will, fantastic job. You know, even though you're not necessarily doing customer service here every day, that is a massive customer service you just did.
Yep, exactly.
That's cool.
That's what I was trying to, you know, push home there. Like, so that's a great story. That's a great way to end it here in episode 11. Thank you so much for listening. You know, it feels good to get to episode 11. You know, we put 10 out already. We're going to keep doing them. We're having a whole lot of fun. Next week, look for Phil the Thrill joining the podcast for a special guest spot. Check out T-Box Talk Pod on Instagram, on TikTok. Check out OMADA Golf on Instagram, on TikTok. Check out the OMADA Golf YouTube page to check out all these podcasts in video form, along with a lot of other good videos. The baked potato sandwich video should be out this week.
Thursday or Friday, baby. When this podcast comes out, you better head to the fucking YouTube channel. Watch this goddamn podcast or watch the baked potato sandwich. It might be good leeway into the podcast, but
Yeah,
one way or
it'll
the
set the
other.
tone. It'll set the tone.
Watch both.
I've never heard Josh
the
laugh so
highest
hard.
production quality that you will ever see in your entire lives, people.
That is very true.
Yeah, we put a lot of time into it. It was so much fun. I can't wait for people to watch it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace out.
See ya.